The glass was still in my hand when his words cut the room in half. My sister got fired again, maybe stick-toe stripping. Laughter exploded, not polite laughter. Ugly, sharp, hungry. My father leaned back in his chair, smirked, and dadded. At least she's good at that. The room shook with amusement. Face blurred, eyes burned into me, but I didn't flinch. I just held my glass still until the rim pressed so tight against my skin, I thought it might crack. And then the doors opened. The CEO walked in, her eyes locked. On mine, the laughter died instantly like Sumiona had cut the sound from the world. I remember when my brother and I were children. He was the golden one, the one teachers praised, the one neighbors. I was the shadow, tolerated, but never celebrated. He played piano, I wrote stories, he wore medals. I wore bruises no one asked about. Dad loved him, Dad endured me. When I stumbled in my career, they turned it into a running joke. A script they repeated. Until words weren't words anymore, just weapons. You'll never stick to anything. You're fragile, you're worthless. But he endured quietly. And when I fell, he learned to fall silently. The promotion party was his kingdom. He'd earned a high seat at the company. I was Thegist no one wanted. Dragged their Becca's appearances mattered. But it wasn't the same girl they thought I was. They hadn't seen the months I spent her building. They didn't know about Thellet nights, the studying, then networking. They hadn't seen me walk into an interview for the Sammy Corporation that were ripped my brother and walk out with a contract. Not as an employee, as a consultant directly hired by the CEO. That night, when their laughter drowned me, I didn't answer. I didn't need to, because my revenge wasn't ready written. I noticed the CEO's gaze lingered longer than anyone else's. She crossed the room, ignoring my brother's attempts to charm her, ignoring my father's outstretched hand. She came straight to me. "Glad you could make it," she said, her voice carried sharp. "And deliberate. We've got a load of work ahead." Silence, confusion, dozens of heads turned. I smiled, politely lifted my glass, and answered, "Of course." "Congratulations to me, brother, by the way. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to know we'll be working closely." The look on his face was priceless, confusion curdling into disbelief. They thought my failure eased me. They thought my silence was weakness. But silence is sharper than any scream when you know how to use it. I never corrected their assumptions, never. Defended myself. I let them believe I was sinking while I vast quietly building a foundation beneath feet. Oh, my father's laugh deed first. He leaned forward, eyes darting between the CEO and me like he'd miss at punchline. My brother tried to make a joke. "Wait, what? You two? You know each other?" The CEO cut him off. "Know each other. She's Sona, the best strategist I've seen in years. Without her, half of what you're celebrating tonight wouldn't exist." Every word landed like a hammer. Every second stretched like a blade, like it shifted uncomfortably. The brother's grin collapsed into something's brittle.
"At night."
I'd signed the papers. Me position gave me direct influence on operations, on his projects, on his future. I didn't flaunt it. I didn't tannance it. I waited. I waited for Therite stage. The right crowd. The right meant for truth to slice through their arrogance like glass. The toast that humiliated me became his undoing. The CEO, unimpressed by arrogance and denouement, watched the scene unfold. She saw not just his cruelty, but his carelessness. And she saw me, calm, composed, unwilling to be rattled. That was the moment his throne cracked. Not because I shouted. Not because I fought, but because I didn't need to. The truth revealed itself. After the party, Hicker nerded me. "What the hell was that?" His voice shook with rage. I looked him in. I steady. That was me. I standing where I belong. No razzed voice, no revenge, screamed into his face. Just the cold reality. I had risen without his permission, without Dad's validation, without their approval, to lift him. They're drowning in his own reflection.
"Oh, when I think about that night."
I don't hear their laugh. I hear the silence that followed. Heavy, shaken, humbling. For years, they mocked me for falling. They never noticed I was learning how to rise. And that's the sweetest part off Rev. It's not about destroying them. It's about letting them destroy MFF's V's. When they realized the person that you underestimated was the only one that you should have feared.